Pam here with BeeCreative Crafts, and welcome back, and you too, welcome to Off the Hook. So how is everyone doing tonight? I see we've got Miss Kimberly and Miss Angel already in chat. Welcome in, ladies. So how has everyone's week been? Mine has been pretty good. It is still pretty cold in Tennessee, and they say the temperature is going to drop again, so boo for that, but also, I mean, it's winter. I have to expect it. So, hey, Dreeny, she says, hey, y'all, hey, how are you? All right, y'all, so tonight we're going to talk about Scrappy projects, one skein projects, stash buster projects. Hey, Rudy. But before we do all that, we're going to make a matching cowl to go with our mystery beanie that we did last week. And I'm going to show y'all a couple of blankets. I guess I'll show you the blankets before I flip the camera, and then that's where our project is going to be. We're going to do this, and then we're going to add, I'm going to create a new spinning wheel, or at least write down some projects that y'all want to see go on there that we can come up with that are great for stash busters, one skeins, or scrappy projects, and we'll put them on there, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. So let me show y'all these blankets. I do have one that I didn't take a picture of. Y'all have a hair that's driving me nuts all of a sudden. Okay, that I took a picture of it, but I didn't bring it in here because it's super long, and I was just using a granny stripe, and I was going to make it, hey Noe, welcome in. I was gonna make it be a bedspread, so it was gonna be really, really long because I wanted it to touch the floor, but it's very heavy because it's probably 7 or 8 feet long at least, because it was going to go from the top of a queen size bed where it would tuck up underneath the pillow and then go all the way down the bed at the end and touch the floor. So yeah, it was going to be a little bit big. So I haven't finished that one, obviously, because it was getting very heavy. So but I did take a picture, but like I said, it's just a standard granny stripe. So I may frog it back because I want to use the yarn that's in it, because a lot of it was yarn that that was scraps that had been my grandmother's. And so that was why I was doing that. Hey, Sandra, welcome in. So I want to use that in a project. So, but this particular one here, I used various tutorials. And I kind of think the center here is from Sophie's Universe. And this is just a Scrappy. I think maybe. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I think I have like a blog maybe where I talked about what's what. So that was that. Then I squared it off. And I used the technique from the Kaleidoscope Granny right here to make it bigger, to make my square bigger. So this is one of the projects. And then the other one that I have here handy is a moss stitch blanket, which I think looks like one of those old-timey rag rugs. And I just left all my little tails as fringe. But this is just using the moss stitch, and whatever Scrappy ball came up next, that's what I used. I used variegated, I used solids. So that's how that one turned out. And I thought this one looked really cool. I actually like this one a whole lot better just going random than I did the one that I was trying to make specifically using certain colors. So I like the randomness of this one. So these are a couple of big projects you can make using scrap yarn. Toss those back over there. You can also make beanies, and oh, this one little hair. Now he says, is a blanket considered mosaic if you crochet a bunch of squares or hexagons into an item? Are you going to do the squares or hexagons? Are you going to do them as mosaic and then stitch them all together? Or are you going to use those to create a mosaic design? Like, Like this round right here, this is a mosaic stitch on the back side. It looks like that is stripes. So this is a crocheted mosaic, but I've made like graphic type things out of little squares. But hey Karen, welcome in. Rudy, when will I be uploading 185 or 172? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay. Set that back over there. So yeah, so that's what we can do. With some scrappy stuff. Give me just a second, y'all. Let me open something up over here. Something just popped up on my screen. Let me see what it is. Oh, something totally different. Okay. I can take that off of there. Hey, Charity. Word, Nancy. Hey, Chris K. Welcome in. Welcome in. We got a spring raid. Dreeny says, I love making mosaic blankets and stuff. Yes, y'all. Dreeny's got some amazing mosaic things. And I've actually been piddling around. I was trying to create a mosaic pattern the other day because I've watched several videos on how to do my own. The first one I did, okay, y'all, I can see the hair right here under my eye. What is it doing? But it didn't look exactly like I wanted it to, so I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board with that. But yes, so welcome in to all my spring raiders. I was hanging out over there a little bit earlier. Miss Spring was making this beautiful woven blanket thing, and then she showed a couple that she had made, and she had Miss Dawn P up with her, so they were having a lot of fun over there. And then we were also over at Nancy's house. Nancy covered this really pretty, she took this pretty paper and was covering a notebook. So let's see. Karen says, mailed her 6 blankets to Boggy Creek. They are at, oh wow, 2,192 as of last night. That is amazing. I did see that you had put that in chat. That is awesome. Charity says, please don't forget those thummies for our sweet Pam. Aw, thank you, Miss Charity. All right, y'all. So let me move on my little notes. This here is my temperature chart for what I am making. If anybody missed my live the other night, I am doing a temperature cross stitch. And I'm doing the high and low of every day. And then this one, I'm using 5 degrees as my increments. I went ahead and stitched ahead on my grid because I know that as the year goes on, I'm going to have less time to work on this because I'm going to be wanting to work on other stuff. So I thought if I could go ahead and get this ahead, then it doesn't take long at all to do the little boxes for the day. So if anybody wants to follow along with this, all of the deets for it are in my Let's Get Crafting live from last Saturday night. So Nancy, do your thing. Noe says she is stitching together. Oh, the hair is driving me nuts. Sorry. Oh, I got it. It's fuzz. It's not even hair. It's from where I was working on this earlier. Noe says, I'm stitching together several hexagons into different colored flowers on a green background. Oh, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Let me scroll back up for a second. Okay, so I was thinking because Noe's comment from earlier got lost. So that's what she's doing. She's stitching the hexagons together to look like flowers. See, I would think that would be considered a type of mosaic. I don't know if they would consider it mosaic crochet, but if you're crocheting them and stitching them together, I don't know, Dreeny, what do you think? I mean, it's not technically the mosaic stitch, but I mean, it still would be a type of mosaic because if you take like the little tiles and put all the little tiles together, bust them up and create an image, that's mosaic. So, hola Maritza. La la la. There it comes. Okie dokie. And Noe says, but she is crocheting the hexagons together. I would say that it's technically mosaic because you're taking little blocks and creating something different. I'm with, like Dreamy says, I think it could pass as mosaic. Yes. So that's my temperature thingy on that. And I know I said last week I wasn't going to show my temperature blanket, but I'm going to because it's laying here. So here's temperature blanket so far. I'm doing half a row for each day, or yeah, half a row per day. So that's how it's coming along. Sandra said, kind of sounds like a quilt pattern, grandmother's flower garden. Yeah. But I mean, I would say even quilts, if you're using them, they can almost be like a mosaic. Okay. Are y'all ready to work on this little cowl? So I'm going to make it using the same stitches that we did on this beanie here, which was just a texture using front post and regular doubles. We did a half double and then we did the sedge stitch. Now, if you want to do your, oh, Karen says, I like your sleeves. Thank you. Y'all, this came from Temu. I did not make it, but I thought it was really pretty and I wanted to check it out. And I kind of think, I've been trying to decide, I've been really like looking at it. You can't see it on the back side, so I'm kind of thinking this might have been embroidered and not actually crocheted. I think it's embroidered to look like a granny square, but I still like it. Dreeny is working on a ruffle hat and it's driving me nuts. Those ruffles, man, they take a long time to do. And Kimberly said, yes, mosaic quilts are a thing. But so you can do this as a neck warmer, and if I'm doing it as a neck warmer, which is also a cowl, it just depends on what you want to call it. You can use the same stitch count that you ended your hat on, and then it'll fit nice and snug up against your neck. Or if you want it to be a little bit looser, then you can add a few more stitches to it. Since we're doing the sedge stitch, it needs to be in a multiple of 3. So you can do it however you want, but I am going to do mine with the 172, and I'm going to start, or 170, not 172, with 72. We'll start with, we'll do around a half double first, and then we will start our texture. Then we'll do another round half double. Then we'll do this section, and then we'll end it opposite of how we started. That way it will match our beanie. Let's see here. Hey, Gwen. She says, hello, beautiful humans. Hello, hello. And Noe says she saw a quilt on Hugh Howitser's show that has 3D squares that look like hexagons. It's a color shade burst. Oh, that sounds pretty. Charity's making 2 gnomes each month. The pattern book has 24 gnomes, 1 big and 1 small. Cute. And you know what? You could, since we're talking about like Stash Buster and stuff, if you're making like those little amis, even if it's a big ami, you could still use either yarn that's already in your stash or scrap yarn, because there are parts on it that you could do to kind of make it. Hold on, y'all. There is chatter that y'all can't see that I can see, and it's distracting, and my mod can't see it. So hold on just a second. My channel. Open up my live over here on the YT side. View my channel. Okay. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. And I can't see it over there. Okay. Charity says she's got her big gnome done for this month and the hat for the small gnome. Awesome. What is going on over here? I could do it over here. There we go. Sorry, y'all. Oh, that's not what I wanted it to do. Why did it do that? It jumped. Oopsies. Wrong button. Okay, it jumped, so but that slowed my chat down. Cedra says her 4-weight scraps, rectangle modern granny, DK scraps, Ophelia Talks legacy blanket. Awesome. See, I want to do another Sophie's Universe, so we'll talk about that. Let me switch my camera, y'all, and we'll get started on this, and then we can chit chat while I work on the cowl. So let's pause this camera. Flip this one. There we go. So this is what we're going to be working on. What is that my foot here, y'all? Charity said she has been using her scrap yarn and dryer sheets for the stuffing for the... Oh, dryer sheets will make it smell good. Give me just a second. There is my camera. There it is. Wrong. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I've got that fuzz back on my face. Where is what I need? It is right here. There it is. Alrighty. Okay. Ugh. So to the chatter, I did not mean to hit that one button. I hit a wrong button. I will have to fix it after the live. No, he said I intended for this blanket to be a stash buster, but I ended up buying more yarn after I lost at Yarn Chicken. It happens. It happens. Angel says Yarn Chicken. That is when you are trying to finish a project and you only have a little bit of yarn and you're hoping that you can get it all the way done and you run out of chicken. That means you lost, or you run out of chicken. You run out of yarn. That means you lost at Yarn Chicken. So, yeah. Pause this camera for a second. No, my battery. Oh, I guess sorry, my laptop was telling me something about my battery, but it's just because my mouse rolled over the battery thing. Let's move you over here. Okay, let me grab my crochet hook and let's get started. So I'm going to be using the same yarn that I did last week, which is this green apple in the Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. And green apple is the color. And so let's see, we're going to be working in the round. I need 70. Okay, there's 10. So let me count out. Let me get this counted out here real quick. Get some yarn going. What? Come on now, don't do that. Why are you not coming out? Oh my gosh, here comes the yarn barf, y'all. There we go. Okay. So go ahead and chain 72. And there's 30. Karen says, we need more yarn. I got Red Heart Ombre for $5 at Joann's, was $9.49. Cannot pass that up. I love the ombres. And y'all, I saw on who posted the video, or was it on Facebook? Somebody posted that Ollie's has got some more Red Heart yarn in, and they're $4.99 a skein, and some of it was the ombre and some was just the really big jumbo skeins like we were talking about last week, the 10 ouncers for $4.99. So I might have to go check it out. Or I will call my store first and see if they have any. Y'all, is that 50? I think it was. Okay, I think that is. Okay, thank you, Nancy. That's good to know. That's probably all it was then. Okay. Then I'm going to go over here and try to slip stitch without, let's see, twisted. And there is a little trick to where you can, oh, that's not where I wanted you to go. I want it in the back loop, where you can put your hook in the stitch and, like after you start your chain, so that when you're done, all you have to do is slip stitch because you're already got that stitch that stays on your hook. Sometimes I do it that way, and I know I didn't explain that very well, but I didn't think about it before I started doing all this, so we're not going to do it that way. We're just going to do it like this. And I'm going to chain one, and then I'm just going to work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and in theory, I should have 72 stitches. And my chat is going. Let's see here. Angel said, that's awesome, Karen. Karen says, using it in spin me around blanket. So ombre looks so cool as it goes around. Yes, I like using ombre yarns when making like either in the round or just really any kind of blanket because it just looks, I'm like you, it looks really cool. Sandra said, green is not my go-to color, but the green apple ombre works up beautifully. It does, and I'm thinking that because I chose two small projects, that the full ombre effect of it isn't going to be as visible or as noticeable, but it is really pretty. The color itself is. But I kind of like all the ombres. But in that Ollie's picture that I saw, I think it was it might have been the green, or it might have been yellow. I wish I could remember if I saw it on, I wish I could remember which one I saw it on, if it was on Facebook or on YouTube. But either way, she showed a picture of the yarn, or I kind of think it was Facebook, just because I'm kind of picturing the images. But I mean, I guess it could have been a post, but I think it was Facebook. But there was Bluebell. Hey, Granny D. She says, hey, Penny Pooh, and howdy do to all. Welcome in. I've been trying to catch your lives this week a little bit at work. I just didn't have a chance to chat. And I saw Daniel Paul Ply Guys was live earlier too while I was at work, and I caught a little bit of his. And they're planning a trip to Gatlinburg in September, the end of September, I believe, is what they said. I was like, oh, that would be fun to meet up with everybody. And he was talking about red and black, like yarn using red and black together. And that is one of our local high schools. That's one of their colors, so I use that a lot. And I actually had made an infinity scarf not long ago using those colors. And as I say that, I got red and black on today. A little red turtleneck. Granny D says, sure would. I know, right? That would be fun. I'll have to get some more deets from him and see who all's. He rattled off several people that are going to be meeting up. And I told him, I said, that's the halfway point between me and Granny D. Because it takes us both about the same amount of time to get there. And I'm in the same state. But y'all know Tennessee's long. Tennessee's a long state. So for anybody that is catching this on the replay or just coming in, I am making a cowl or a neck warmer, whatever you want to call it, to match the mystery beanie that we made last week. So I am starting out with 72. Well, I did a chain of 72, and now I'm just going around doing a half double crochet in each stitch while we sit here chit-chatting. So that is what I am working on. I got this little yarn barf still hanging out over there. Every time I pull the yarn, here it comes. Hey, one! She said 451 miles on I-40 in the state of Tennessee alone, I'm sure. Y'all, Tennessee is so long. So long. And then just when you think you're all the way across, then you got little tips that stick out on either end. Wanda said yes to Tennessee. Woo. And some parts of that I-40 are rough. Kimberly says, gotta head out so my man can get some sleep. I will catch you later. All right, Kimberly, thanks for popping in. I hope David is enjoying his new job and get some sleep. Hey, Mama Riaz, welcome in. Let's see. Karen says, you know what? I didn't even catch the, Mama Riz, I didn't even catch that you said spam. I have a friend that used to call me that all the time. Karen says she has family in Clarksville. That's cool. That's not too far from me. Probably about an hour-ish north of me. Hey, Darcia, welcome in. She says, sorry I'm late. I was adulting. I understand. Dang old adulting. I am making a cowl to match the mystery beanie that we did last week. So I chained 72 and slip stitch to form a ring, and now I'm just working a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. I flipped it over because I'm working in the back bump because I like the effect that it gives. If y'all have never worked in the back bump, I like it because you got your little V-stitch on this side, and if you flip it over, you've got your little V-stitch on that side. So once you're done, it's really hard to tell which end you started on. And Wanda said she will be running close to 400 miles of it tomorrow from Memphis through east side of Knoxville. Oh my goodness, that's a long ride. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Welcome in, Miss Tammy. How are you doing tonight? She says, hello, beautiful friends. And for those that are looking for somewhere to go this weekend on the YouTube streets, the Crafty Ladies are back, and we will be on my channel. Darcia says ads. They should be very short, so hopefully y'all are already back by the time I'm seeing that comment. But we will have, the Crafty Ladies are going to be on my channel this month, and we have a special guest. That's something we've decided we're going to start doing. Each month we're going to have a guest. And this month our guest is Cynthia with Cynthia's Joyful Creations. So she is going to be joining me and Nancy, and we are going to be making bookmarks. So if y'all want to craft along with us, all you're going to need is some scrap paper or some cardstock or a piece of copy paper and a piece of cardboard, just something so that you can make a bookmark, and then stuff to decorate it with. So if you want to do, get you some little, if you have stickers or paint, I've got some of those little rhinestone stickers that I picked up at Dollar Tree a long time ago, or if you have some dried flowers. And then you'll need a ribbon, some yarn, a pre-made tassel, whatever you want to use to add to the end of your bookmark. And then we're also going to be making a canvas painted snowflake. So you can, any size canvas you want. So if you want to do, let's see, where did it go? So if you want to do a little teeny tiny canvas this size, or you can go all the way up to an 8 by 10, whatever size you want to do, that is up to you as to what size you want to do. And then grab you some washi tape or painter's tape. The inspiration that I saw on Pinterest, I believe is where I saw it, she used painter's tape, but I was thinking washi tape too because it's a little bit thinner. And then just whatever color paints you want to use. Welcome back, Rudy. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing on Saturday night. If y'all would like to craft along with us, and that's going to start at 6 Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern. So y'all can figure it out for whatever time zone y'all are in. Sorry, I know this, I'm just trying to get all my little half doubles in these little stitches here. Yeah. And what I was saying before, if you want to make a cowl to match your beanie or a neck warmer, just use the same ending stitch count as your beanie, because you know your beanie is going to fit around your head because you've already put it on, you've already tested it out, and you know it's going to cover up your ears, so it'll pull down over around your neck as well. So that'll make it nice, and it'll keep it nice and tight right here on your ears and keep you nice and warm. If you want to make it a little bit bigger, so that it's a little looser, you can do that as well. Just add a few more stitches and make sure that if you're doing a specific stitch that you use that stitch count, or make sure you keep the same multiples. Angel saying hey to Miss Darcia. I'm almost back around, and then I'm going to count these right quick because I was not counting as I was going around. I was chit-chatting. Oh, Mr. Stitch, there you are. Rudy said, did I get my math correct? I have no idea. I saw you were... no. 21 times 2 is not 46. 46 and a half is not 21. Your math is not mathing. Half of 46 is 23. Okay. And I don't know if that is a stitch there. Oh, pulled that one super tight. Let me go ahead and count it right quick. Hey, Lori, welcome in. She said, howdy, I just got here. What you making? I am making a neck warmer cowl to match our beanie that we made last week. And I'm starting out with the same stitch count that we ended with on our beanie. So I'm starting out with 72. So I'm getting ready to count it up and make sure that I have the right amount, the right numbers. So let me count right quick here. Okay, there's 25. 50. Okay, so that is my last stitch right here. I guess when I slip stitched it to join, I made it tight. Okay, I'm just going to go right into this stitch right here, slip stitch to join, and that is my round of 72. Alrighty, Wanda said, heading to bed. I will leave you running. Thank you, Miss Wanda. Let's see. Mama says, sorry I can't type. I'm crocheting a beanie for my grandson that was born in October, but I'm listening. I love Pam's sweet voice. Aw, thank you. Miss Darcia telling Miss Wanda good night. All right, so let's grab, hey, Amanda. She said, hello, everyone. Hope all is good. Leaving my DNA and heading to bed. Just ended a 9.5-hour live. Time flies when we're having fun. Yes, I saw you were live. I guess I was still at work too. I saw you had been live. All right, y'all. So we are going to, when we can't replicate the circle, but we're going to replicate this texture by doing a front post double, then a regular double, front post double, regular double, all the way around. And then on the next go around, we're going to alternate it. We're going to work a regular double on top of the front post, and then around the regular double, work a front post. You'll see. We're going to alternate it off. And I kind of think that that is called the alpine stitch. Or it's like a hybrid. It's like a cross between the alpine and the rice stitch, because I kind of think with the alpine you do a row of single crochet between each row, and with this I'm not doing that. But did Jonathan come in? Did I miss Jonathan? My chat is jumping. If I did, I'm sorry. Let me scrolly. But if I miss Jonathan coming in, welcome in. Darcia, what color yarn am I using? I am using the Super Saver Ombre in the color Green Apple. Okay, so let's just go ahead. You know what? Let's do a round of double crochet. Just regular double crochet. I'm going to do a standing double because that seems to be my go-to here lately. Let's just go ahead and do a round of double crochet, and then we'll start the texture. Yeah. This yarn is wanting to get all tangly. All right, so y'all, what kind of projects have y'all made using scrap yarn or one skein projects, stash buster projects, and what kind of projects should I add on my spinning wheel of projects to do for the year? Let me know, and I will. What did I do with my little tiny notebook? I've probably laid my hat on top of it. Yes, I did. Okay, so here are some of the ones that I already had written down that are possibilities. So I've got Sophie's Universe, Cowl using bougie yarn. So I have got 2 skeins of really gorgeous bougie furry, well, not furry, but it's got like a halo on it, and it's orange, and it's a silk blend that I bought at a fiber festival, and I bought 2 of them. They're little donuts, and I have some silk blend that I bought when Hobby Lobby had a sale a couple years ago, that in white. So I'm thinking of using the two of those together. So that'll be like a stash buster. But it'll be a 2 skein or 1 to 2 skein project. So that's what that is. I want to make a scarf using the Happily Stained project or the Happily Stained pattern, but I want to make a big long scarf with a matching beanie. And I want to make a campfire cardigan or some sort of hex cardi or any kind of cardigan. Let's see. I need to finish my log cabin crochet quilt because I started that a long time ago on Miss Kimberly's channel. Look up in the little tiny circle because I don't think I'll be able to get it all in here. But I had started it on hers. And so I want to finish it because I was using this. Although, you know what? I don't guess I can do that because I used it to make this beanie. Okay. I may have enough of that. I have another skein of that because I can see it sitting right here. It's right there. So I can do all the centers. But I want to finish this log cabin blanket and I can use it. That'll be a good stash buster. And then I was thinking about making like a granny square jacket. Okay. So. Oh no. Wanda said she just saw that Joann's has filed Chapter 11 for the second time in a year and are now looking to sell all assets. Oh, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. That's a bummer. They will probably have some really great deals on yarn. However, that really stinks. We're losing our craft stores, y'all. Sorry, y'all. My my pants were sitting weird. I had to fix it. Darcia said she is making a granny square lapgan from scrap yarn. Oh, that's the other. Wonder where that blanket's at. You said that made me think. I bet it's in there in one of my totes. That's what I was gonna grab. But it's not a granny square. I'm doing a join as go C2C using scrap yarn. I guess I could add that to the list and then I could work on that let's see. Join as you go. But yeah, granny squares are great ways to use up scrap yarn, making your little granny squares. Oh, but yeah, Wanda, that about Joann's, that just really stinks. I hate it, and I hate it for all the people that work there and will potentially lose their jobs if they sell off all their assets and have to close the stores. That stinks. I don't have a Joann's like super close to me, so I don't get to Joann's often, but I do get like their emails and their sale sale emails, and I go check them out. I think I have stuff in my cart at the moment. I haven't ordered it, but I was checking. I always check, to see what they've got. Ooh, why did that ding? My computer's dinging at me. Why? Oh no. My computer's making noises at me tonight. That was a different ding. I probably heard it. More fuzz in my face. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't noticed that. I must have stirred up something else besides that cross stitch project because I've been working on it all week and I haven't noticed it. But I bet because I got a stack of yarn right here and I was trying to organize it a little bit before the live started. And I bet that fuzz that's floating in the air and keeps sticking to my face and tickling me, I bet it's from that. Let's see, Nancy said, still here, rearranging my desk again. Well, you rearrange away. So I'm thinking on this little guy here that I'll do three rounds of the texture maybe, and then we'll do another round of half double, and then we'll jump into the sedge stitch and do a few rounds of that, and then go back in opposite, do 3 more rounds of the texture, and end it with well, after sedge, do another round of half double. We'll just have to see. This round of half double or this round of double crochet may be too much. Hey, Jessie. Let's see. Lori said she is doing a couple of stash busters. I'm making a shawl with some fingering weight fancy yarn I've had for a while. And I'm making a baby blanket with your happily stained pattern. Oh, yay! I really have enjoyed that pattern. I've made a couple. I made the one in the happily stained color using the happy from using the line brand Mandala Ombre Happy, which I love. And then I made a couple of other ones for my grandbabies in other colors. Granny D said she is taking a stitching break so she can chat and drink some coffee. She says hi to Nancy and all who are here. And Lori said the baby blanket is using some vintage yarn and a scrap ball from a Christmas project. Awesome. And what I like about the happily stained, and if y'all haven't seen my pattern for that, check it out. Because it's reversible and it looks fancy and it looks hard, and it's really not. I don't think it's hard. I think it's a pretty easy flow pattern once you get the stitch counts in your head. I think it's easy to follow along with. So I hope y'all do too. And I probably could have just jumped straight into the stitch, and we're going to see. This may get frogged back. So if y'all are following along with me, just if we don't like it, we may have to frog this round. Crafty Gypsy says, I'm late as usual. What you making? I am making a cowl to go along with the beanie that we made last week. Y'all, my heat just kicked on, so it's getting warm in here. I'm almost back around to the edge. But I'm going to do a couple of the stitches. I'm going to see if I like the way it's looking. And if not, then I'll frog it. What time we at? Oh, it's almost time for the Jeopardy question. We'll do a couple of these stitches before I drop the Jeopardy answer. Oh, and look, it's starting to change colors. It's getting a little bit lighter. Okay, so we're going to start with our front. Well, let's chain. We'll start with our front post. Well, front post double. Yeah, let's just take both of y'all. And then we'll do a regular double. And then a front post double. And that's how we're going to alternate all the way around. Doing a regular double right into the top of the stitch. And then do a front post double. I think that'll be okay, because then the next time we go around, hey Susan, and the next time we go around, we'll do a regular double on top of this one, and then we'll turn this one into a front post double. So I think that'll be okay, like that. All right, let me go over here and find my banners. So the category is still the 3 B's of classical music. And y'all, the only reason I got this one correct is because of the clue B. When I read the answer, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's only because of that. Charity said her heat is on and the wood stove is behind her while working on a diamond painting for the hubby. I like diamond painting. I think it is so much fun. Angel says, could I get away with a temperature blanket with just using ombre yarn? Sure. That would be really pretty. I bet you could. Miss Susan, I am making a cowl or a neck warmer, whatever you want to call it. I mean, like a turtleneck is what I'm making basically. Or a dickie, I guess you could call it. Whatever you want to call it. Using the same stitch pattern that we made the beanie with last week. I'm just making one to match it. Okay, where'd my banners go? There we go. Okay, so the category 3Bs of classical music, and the answer is Vivaldi wrote 230 violin concertos, his most for any instrument. Second are his 40 or so for this B woodwind. The only reason I got this one right is because the B woodwind that popped in my mind first is what I went with. That's the only reason I got it. Well, hey, Miss Lisa, welcome in. You are up awful late tonight. Granny D says, big squishy hugs to Miss Tammy. Darcy has to refresh. No worries. And I'm just going to continue all the way around working a double crochet and a front post double. Round and round and round we go. We've got a bassoon coming in for the B woodwind. There's another bassoon. Granny D said, Lisa, wild woman. Thanks for the cute t-shirt. Darcy says, in the ads. Everybody's welcoming in Miss Ladybird. Y'all, the ads should be fairly quick. I have them set up to only go every 30 minutes. And they should be fairly quick, I hope. This yarn. And y'all, let me show you how this yarn's looking. It's looking sad because I don't know if I dropped it or if Tiny snagged it. Tiny likes to steal my yarn. Those with cats, y'all know. But the ball band came off. But I mean, it still looks fairly good though. But his thing, and I kind of think I had it sitting on this shelf behind me, and he's been stealing. He found this little bucket of these little dilly-doos, these little pom-poms. There were white ones in there too. And there were a bunch of them this size. And his little turkey butt has stolen every one of them. They're all up and down the closet. They're underneath the door. Like I open up the closet and there's like 5 of them. But he keeps jumping up there and grabbing them. Lisa says she woke up, came to answer a notification comment thingy, and saw you live and had to poke my nose in. Well, of course. Thank you. I'm glad you did. Susan, what yarn is it? I am using Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in the color Green Apple. Now, I will say, this is not the softest of the Red Hearts, but it is a beautiful ombre. Granny D says, love your Temu sweater. Thanks, yeah. And I don't mind all the cat hair. I really think, I was trying to decide if it's actually crocheted or if it's embroidered. It looks crocheted, but parts of it also look like it was embroidered. and you can't tell from this side because it's done in a panel and then sewn on. So yeah, but it is a Temu shirt. And I bought it fully expecting this section to be a print and not actually thread. And probably the only way I will be able to fully tell and convince myself that it's one or the other would be to unassemble, and I don't want to do that because then I probably could not reassemble. Grady D saying to Lisa, well, I'm glad you came to poke your nose in. So what's everybody got planned for the weekend? It's going to be cold, cold, cold here, so I will probably stay inside, even though I kind of want to go to Ollie's, but I don't need anything from Ollie's. But they also have yarn. But I guess, like I said earlier, I should call them first to see if they actually did get any yarn in. Angel said, I'm not sure if an embroidery machine would be able to do that stitch, but if so, I want to try it. So here's the thing. I didn't think it could either, but then I watched a video the other day of an embroidery machine do granny squares. Let's see. Lisa says she loves Red Heart Ombre, but only because it's the best ombre I've come across, but also despise it because it's like crocheting with cardboard. I know, it's like a love-hate. Yeah, the ombre is not the softest of the Red Hearts, but I'm with Lisa. It's pretty. Now it does soften up a bit when you wash it, but not nearly as much as others. But yeah. And I bought this green because initially I was going to use it. Get back in there. Initially I was going to use it on my niece's wedding blanket because I got her favorite colors and her now husband's favorite colors. So I was going to use it for his, but I was using Red Heart with Love, which is so buttery soft, or at least the ones that I had in my stash were. And I was and I had some I think it was Lion Brand anti-pill acrylic, which was also really soft, which made this feel way worse than it normally does. And so I was like, I can't add that to that blanket. Plus, this is like a real matte, dull finish, and those other yarns have had a bit of a sheen to them. So I didn't think it was gonna look great. But he had chosen green for his color, and so I was like, well, I'll just use this for something else because I bought this. This sucker's huge. It's the 10-ounce skein of it. So that's why I have so much. That's why I'm able to make this hat, be able to make this cowl, and I'll probably still have some left even after it. Even after we get it done. But yeah, the Red Heart Ombres are a really great. They flow to the next color so seamless, just so gradual. I really like it. We were talking about it earlier in the live. Is it Karen? Y'all, my memory sucks. Who was saying they would use the ombre in a blanket from the round? But yeah, I do like the Wait a minute. Let me scroll back up for just a second here. Darcia said, "End the ads at 8:53, and now you're in the ads again." Well, what the heck, YouTube? They should only be playing every 30 minutes. I heard some other people complaining about that the other day. Mine should only be playing every 30 minutes. They should be playing at the top of the hour and at the bottom of the hour. Unless, of course, you leave the live and then come back in, and then they'll play ads. But if you leave the live and come back, then they'll play ads. But if you stay in the ads, then you should only be getting them every 30 minutes. And Granny D says she's not seeing any ads yet. So I don't know. It just dawned on me when Darcia said that earlier, it was 10 till, and so there shouldn't have been any. But it's okay. It is what it is, because I try not to complain too much about that kind of stuff, because YouTube gives us this platform for free, and if that's how they pay the bills, then to allow us to use this platform for free, then I try not to complain too much about it. Lori said, "If you have some left, you can make some fingerless gloves to finish the set." See, that's what I was thinking too. That would be a good thing to do. All right, so now we're back around here. So now I'm just going to chain one, and then I'm going to do a standing double just to keep it consistent with how I did the hat. Okay, so then around this double that we did, just a regular old double, now we're going to make this one be a front post double. Nancy said, "Just remember, we grew up with commercials during our show. Same difference." Exactly. Granny D says, "True, good way to think about the ads." Exactly. I mean, because the other thing would be fuzz on my face again. Making us have to pay to be on the platform, and that would really stink. Or make it to where you have to pay to watch, which would suck too. So, but now we're just going around and alternating just like we did before. We're doing our double, and then we're doing a front post double around the double from the row below, which is the same thing that we did on the crown of our beanie, in essence, which gave us this really cool textured squishiness in the crown. And Angel said she is noticing that green is becoming popular lately. Oh, really? Maybe that's going to be the color of the year. Maybe I'm just ahead of my game and didn't even know it. There's Granny D saying, "What is the Pantone color of the year?" I don't know. Maybe I knew and didn't know. And Darcia said, "And the ad helps towards your channel." They do. They absolutely do. Nancy said, "Yes, that's how channels get revenue." Absolutely. I don't know what the color is this year. Does anyone know? Might have to Google. Okay, does anybody have any other projects that I need to add to my list? And I mean, we can always do like another beanie. A beanie is a good stash buster. Or if you have, if you have cotton scraps, you can make a cool little washcloth or a hand towel. Or you can even do like a mosaic, because you don't have to use a lot of the yarn to do a little small mosaic. Or you can do like a little grafgan. Darcia said, "So you chained 72 and what?" Okay, so I chained 72, and then I did a slip stitch to joint and to make it into a ring. And then I worked a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Lady Lisa says, The color of the year is a mocha mousse. So is that like a brown color? Nancy's saying the same thing. And Grady D said she asked Siri and he said classic blue. So I would think that a mocha mousse, I think of, well, darker, a little darker than this. Look, in case anybody wanted to know, always be yourselves. Unless you can be a giraffe, and then always be a giraffe. Because giraffes are cool. This is not a good color representation. Like a beigey, or not a beigey, but I think of like a, ooh, 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 I know. That color. Is this the color? Angel said green goes good with mocha. Grady D said, well, Siri must not know what he's talking about. Darcy said, me and rings don't get along. They twist on me. You could also just do it flat. If you did it flat, you'll need to go watch the tutorial where I work the sedge stitch flat. It'll just start out a little different because you'll start out with a half double and a double and then skip 2 and then go into working your single, half double, double all the way across, and you'll end with a single chain 1 turn, and then you can seam it up and you'll get the same effect. So this is a candle that I made, but it kept burning out. That's where you can't even see the wick anymore because I kept trying to melt the wax around it. It smells good, man. It smells good. Chris K says it's not that light. Oh, okay. It's lighter here, but this is a candle I made in a Starbucks bottle. Or I made it using Dollar Tree candles and wax melts, and it smells so good. I used a coffee wax melt, and I used a brownie chocolate one. Chris K said she started with a half double crochet foundation, and I started to do that. I thought about that after I was doing my chain. But you can do that as well. I like doing the foundation, or I like doing the it's like a foundation less row, but you could do that as well. And I should have shown how to do the little trick where you can start your chain. You start your chain. Let me just do this right here. You start your chain, and then you take your hook off, and then you go down into this one. Then you pick your chain back up, and then you keep chaining, and that way it keeps your chain from turning. But I don't use that enough to be able to show it without practicing it first before it to guarantee that I'm doing it correctly. But it really works if you have it works well if you have a really long chain and you don't want it to twist. Lisa said, well, it's 3:09. I'm going to try to get my eyelids closed again. Have a good one, y'all. Bye, Lisa. And if I am where I can, I will try to tune in to your show tomorrow. Miss Lisa goes live on Fridays. Over here, my computer ding-a-ling-ding to me again. Let's see here. Okay, so Nancy sent me the mocha mousse color. It is darker. It's almost, okay, so it's more of this color. A little bit, has a teeny tiny bit, in the one she sent me the picture of, it's got a little bit more reddish color. So it's kind of like a cross between these two. Not quite that dark. And it could be, or maybe a shade lighter than that. This is called mocha. Lady I work with, she'll bring these in ever so often. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but let me tell y'all, these right here, if you take a couple of gulps out of it and then stick it in the freezer for just a little while, not enough to get it completely frozen, but just a little bit, and then you put the lid back on it and shake it up and make it like a slushy. That's good. Very good. That is my tip for y'all. Like I said, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but that right there tastes really good for semi-frozen. Everybody's telling Miss Ladybird good night. And I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us for a little bit. Close that back out. Lisa and Granny D answering Rudy. If y'all are looking for somewhere to go, I know I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but if y'all are looking for somewhere to go hang out Saturday night, the Crafty Ladies will be back. Crafty Ladies, we meet once a month. We have switched our Saturdays to the third Saturday of the month, and we're going to have a guest with us each month, hopefully, for the year 2025. And this month, our special guest is Cynthia from Cynthia's Joyful Creations. So I hope y'all can come over and join us. If you want to craft along with us, I have a list of the supplies that you'll need in the description of my live video. I've already got it scheduled. We're going to be making a winter-inspired crafts, and we're making a snowflake, painted on a canvas. I'm going to be using washi tape, which had been sitting right here, and I realize it's not sitting right here anymore, so I'm guessing I need to find what the heck I did with it. Hey, Rachel, welcome in. Or some painter's tape. And what we're going to do is we're going to tape that down, and then you'll need some to create your snowflake, and then you're going to need whatever color of paint you want to use as your background. And so we're going to do that. And then we're also going to be making bookmarks, and you can either make a winter bookmark, or if you can look at it as a project to do in the winter when you don't want to go outside. And so we're going to be making bookmarks, and you'll just need some paper, cards, and I put a huge list. You do not need all of the stuff in the list. Just whatever you want to use to make the base of your bookmark. So cardstock, a piece of cardboard, some copy paper, scrapbook paper, whatever you want. I would suggest, if you're going to use scrapbook paper or copy paper, to get like a thin sheet of, or a thin piece of cardboard, so that kind of stiffens it up a little bit, or double up the paper so that it makes it, because you want your bookmark to have a little bit of weight to it, like a little bit of thickness, so that it doesn't get all crumpled up real easily. And then whatever you want to use to decorate your bookmark with. If you've got pressed flowers, stickers, rhinestone stickers, whatever you want to use. And then something to make a tassel with, or a pre-made tassel, whatever you want to do. Rachel said, I hope everyone is having a good evening and keeping warm. I am certainly trying. And y'all, I thought I would be able to whip this thing out in no time flat, and here I am just cruising right along, not getting much done on it. So it'll probably be another one of those where I'm telling you what I did, and then y'all have to finish it up after the live. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch to join. And that is 2 rounds of texture. So we'll do 1 more round of texture, just so you can really see those textures interwoven, making the little chains. Like, that's what it did. To me, it just looks like a chain. You know how they like fit in one another, or like a zipper. So we'll do one more round of this. So we're going to chain one and then work around this here, work a front post double. And then a regular double. Then a front post double. Regular. And that's the repeat for this one. So we're just doing the same thing that we did on round, what was it, round 3? Start with a front post double, then a regular double, front post, all the way around. And then we'll be ready for another round of half double. And y'all, I've got to get me a little drink. Ooh, Susan, that sounds delicious. She said she made a blackberry cobbler and a peach cobbler tonight. I like both of those. If you are a little bit closer, I might just have to pop over. But you're kind of a while back. Okay, so Granny D says be right back, and then stitch mode again. Coffee break is over. Oh, and y'all, let me go drop the answer to our Jeopardy question. Question to our Jeopardy answer. I almost had it right tonight, y'all. Said it right the first time. Didn't say it right this time. Okay, y'all. So our answer is, our category is the 3 B's of classical music. Oh, I left off the S in my 3 B's. Y'all know what it is. 3 B's of classical music. Vivaldi wrote 230 violin concertos, his most for any instrument. Second are his 40 or so for this B woodwind. And for those of you that said, what is bassoon? You are correct. That was the first B woodwind that popped in my head. And then I was like, is it the only B woodwind? Are there other woodwind instruments that start with a B? When I first read it, before I thought about the category, my brain was thinking oboe, just because it was like, I don't know, just different. And then I thought, got to the B, and I was like, nope, oboe starts with an O, not a B, so then it's bassoon. And then I was like, the only other B woodwind I could think of was a bass clarinet. So let me know. Can y'all think of any other B woodwinds? I guess one maybe a saxophone, bass saxophone. And then you got a tenor sax, not a B, but I was going through all the woodwind instruments, and you know, you have bassoon, oboe, clarinet, saxophone. Darcy has said, never would have guessed it. I was in the band. Otherwise, I probably would not have, because the bassoon is not, it's just not a common, it's not as common of an instrument as, not as well known, I guess I should say, as some of the others. And it's not a common instrument that you see in high school bands. We only had, did we have one or two? When I was in high school, I know we had one guy that played the bassoon, but it was only for concert band. During marching band, no bassoons. Not where I went to high school anyway. Now Susan got me wanting blackberry cobbler. I didn't even have, I wonder if my aunt has some blackberries and stuff around her house. I wonder if she froze any. Carrie, are you watching? Are you lurking in the bushes? Or Brandy? Y'all got some frozen blackberries? If so, I need you to hook a cousin up, because I want some blackberries now. Blame Susan. I mean, I could probably buy some frozen blackberries from the store, but that's not the same as the fresh frozen blackberries. And I got some blackberries from my aunt last year. They didn't make it to the freezer. they got made straight into a cobbler and into my belly. Thrifty said, I knew the answer. She was in choir and she had friends and classmates who were in orchestra and band. Awesome. But if it had not given me the B clue, I would not have known it. I would have probably chosen something else. Like, honestly, the first thing I thought of was oboe. So that's probably what I would have went with until I got to the part of the clue where it said B. And then I was like, we're going to go with bassoon. Let's see if I'm almost back around. I feel like I've just been doing the same thing over and over and over. I guess I could show y'all how big this is going to be. But basically, if you want to make a cowl to match your beanies, Susan says, I'll share. Come on over. All right, I'll be there in a day or two. But you can just do your beanie pattern in reverse. Or the way I do it is however I end my beanie. So if I end it with a ribbed brim, I will start with that. Then do the same. Bring this one over here. So I started here with the, this is how normally I would do it. But this one I'm doing a little different just because we did the textured crown. And so I want the textured crown. So I'm starting with a texture. But then I'm going to do the half double. And then do whatever stitch pattern you did in the center. And then reverse it. And then do the half double again. And then do your texture. Or I suppose if you wanted to look at it this way, we're doing the texture, half, the other pattern, and then we're going to do the half and then end with texture. That way it kind of flows. It's not exact science. I switched up, obviously, sometimes, but it's a good way to quickly make a matching cowl, or if you wanted to do a scarf or an infinity scarf or a regular scarf, you can do the same thing. We're almost back around. And then we're going to do a round of half double crochet. But before I do that, I'm going to grab a stitch marker when I slip stitch, and then I will put it over my head, and I will show y'all how it looks. Let's see, we've been going for an hour, almost an hour and a half. I've been trying to keep my lives to 2 hours or under 2 hours. So we'll go ahead and work on this a little bit. And what I'll probably do is, if I have time this weekend, I'll whip up a little quick short tutorial on finishing this up. Or maybe a short just telling you, not necessarily a tutorial, but just a short telling you how many rows of each thing I did. So there's our texture to match the crown. So we've got the same textured pattern-ish. And then we'll do a round of half double, and then we'll start the sedge stitch section. And then we'll just go back in reverse. We'll do another half double and do the texture and end with half double. But let me show you how this works and make sure that I'm telling y'all correctly here. Okay, let me pause this camera. Go back over here for a second. Wrong camera. Okay. Because you're doing it here. Oh, you can also make ear warmers. But you know that it's going to fit over your head because you made it last week with the beanie. So you keep your stitch count the same. So as long as it's not squeezing your head, y'all, I've got my light box folded up and it's just sitting there. But check it out. So now you just pull it down, and now you've got a neck warmer. So once we get the sedge stitch section, it'll be about right here. Then you'll have this textured section again, so it's going to hit above your ears. So once you get everything all, see, every time I put the thingy in the back, or the thingy that I want in the back there. So once you get that on, then you have your ear warmer. It's going to come right up over here, or your neck warmer, so you can have it here, and you can also pull it up here. So it'll go from here all the way down to your shoulders. So it'll keep you nice and warm and toasty. So if you want it to be more, let me remove that banner, hold on. So if you want it to be more like looser, like a cowl or something that you could wear as like a clothing accessory, then make this a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit longer for your starting stitch count, and then it'll kind of hang down a little bit looser. But the way we've done it here, this is like a nice, I've always called them a neck warmer when I'm making them like this, but I mean, it could be a dickie, like if you're, because you're not doing a full-on turtleneck, you're just doing a little bit that's just going to stick out just to, but it's good to keep you nice and warm. And right now we're in the middle of winter, and I don't know about where y'all are, but right here in Tennessee it's been really cold. So flip it around. So I'm going to flip it around to give you an idea of what it's going to look like this. So when you put it on, because once you get it longer, it's going to hit right here, so you're not going to have to worry about holding it up, because it's going to hold up itself, because it's going to have all the bulk there, and it'll keep you nice and warm and toasty. Susan says, I want to make a wide scarf with pockets and a hood. I made those several years ago, and I never did a tutorial for them. I don't know why, because I don't know. I made them before the pocket, the pocket shawl came out. I had started making these hooded. They didn't look the same, so they weren't at all the same. But I figured out a way to do the hood. Everything was like all together. And then the pockets, you just make it long, and then I folded it up, and I had like a the same brim looking thing texture on the pocket that I did on the hat. I'll have to find a picture. Oh wait, I do have a picture. Where is that picture? Let me look. It may be on Facebook. Perhaps it's on Facebook. Let's go take a look. See. BeeCreative Crafts. Drop y'all down. Be gone. If I have a photo, I'll show it to you and see if it's what you're thinking of. If so, I can kind of let you know how I did it. I just kind of made it up. I winged it. Let me see, because I saw that picture when I was looking for other pictures not too long ago. If not, I made one for my mom. I made one for my sister. Made them for my niece. I will get one of theirs back and show you. Or maybe not get it back, but videotape it when I'm at their house, like get a picture of it. Let me look at this picture. There's that one. Let me share it. This one here. Thrifty, did I make the squares on my sleeve? I did not. I bought this off of Temu, and I think it's embroidered on. It could very well be crocheted, but I really think it's embroidered. And I can't tell from the underside because they did it they sewed it on. They did it in a strip and then attached it. So I'd have to unassemble it to be able to look and see, but I'm thinking that, present, share screen. And like I said, it could be crocheted, and I just maybe, but parts of it look crocheted and parts of it don't. Okay, so this is one that I had done that was a unicorn. Oh, share. But I ended up undoing that one because I decided the horn on that unicorn was too long. I didn't like it. So I undid it, and then still had the pocket shawl. Stop screen. Darcia says she's in ads. Now that makes sense because we're at the bottom of the hour, so that should be correct. But that's not the one. But I did figure out how to do the unicorn. Oh wait, look at these. Hold up. And I need to see whose tutorial I used, or what, a tutorial. It was a pattern. Karen said there are sandals and shoes like that with the granny squares. I've seen those. And see, and I really, when I ordered this, I mean, I got it off of Temu. I fully expected this to be fabric, just like a fabric print and not actual thread. But it is actual thread. So I'm thinking that it's, I mean, it could be. Okay, let me look over here and see. Look at these. Yeah, it's showing. So here's some of them that I did. This is not my pattern. I will try to remember who I printed that off from. This was a printed pattern. It was a free pattern, but I made a bunch of them. But see how your shoulders and everything hold it up. To keep you nice and warm and toasty. So as y'all can see, I made a lot of them. I really liked that star, and it had the beanie and the neck warmer matched. Okay. Those are some wreaths I made. Okay, let's see here. Go back. Whoop. Yep, Susan said, I thought I would make a scarf and then just put a hood on it. And that's what I did. I made the scarf first, and then I folded it up, and then went back and added the hood. Maybe I didn't put it on here. Either that or I made it way before I thought I did. Scrolling. Scrolling. It might be on. Well, it's not on here. Okay, either that or I missed it. I'll try to find it and post a picture. But yeah, you could totally just make your scarf and then just add a hood. That's what I did. Rachel said, those are all very pretty. I love that you made matching sets. Yeah, thanks. And those sewed really well. I really don't know why I haven't made any more since then, but I need to find that pattern because I really liked it. I think it's was it the jasmine stitch? I think is what that is. Maybe. But I don't know. I have to go back and look. But it was like clusters and it was fun. And I don't remember where. I'll have to find the pattern. Like I said, it was a free pattern, but anyway, so that's what we're going to do with this, is we're going to make those sets so that you'll have it. So, you know, and you don't have to wear it. And it's really thick. So, I mean, if you wanted to pull it up over your head, you could. Yep. And of course, you know, last week I was looking for a picture of the kaleidoscope blanket that I made. Couldn't find one. Now, I know I have it in a video somewhere, but I found a picture of the beginning of it. But I think it's on my old phone. Oh, which reminds me. Oh no, it's in the other room. I need to take my charger in there to plug in that old phone so I can see if I have a picture of it. But I thought maybe it would be in the background because I took it to like 3 or 4 craft shows and then it sold. But I have all of the other blankets that I had at the craft show on one of the social medias, but that particular one for the Kaleidoscope Granny wasn't there. Like, what the heck, man? Oh, well. Oh, let me show you. While I got this open, let me show y'all this blanket. Oh, I'm going to have to take his hat off. Holy smokes. Present, share screen. Because I told y'all we were going to talk about scrap projects and stuff using scrap yarn or stash busters. So this here is a blanket I made for my brother. This is Mosaic, and this is the Nordic Stripe. It's a pattern by Yarnspirations, and then Mikey at the Crochet Crowd has a tutorial. And that was made using scrap yarn, and then I had the gray was my constant color, that like gray that you can see. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger. See if I can zoom in on it. There we go. So I used this gray here. That was my constant color. And then I used either scrap balls or some of the yarn was yarn that I had inherited after my grandmother passed away. And I had made my brother a scrap blanket also using some of her scraps. And then his house, he had a fire at his house, and so his blanket got damaged, and so I unraveled it and made him this one. Using that yarn. So this is like I said, this is considered mosaic, but that's what I did for him. So that's one scrappy project you can do. Share screen again. This is the Sophie's Universe that I made for my granddaughter's baby blanket, which is also, it was a stash buster, and could also, parts of it were also scrappy, because I didn't have full skeins of any of a lot of this. And I also used some of the yarn in this that was in the stuff that was that I inherited from my grandmother. Let's get back this way. That's his blanket in the works. Okay, so here is a join as you go C2C. I still had some extra yarn left over after his after I finished up his other blanket, and so I had this white. I kind of think this is Karen Simply Soft. And then I just made the little squares. I was going for a patchwork quilt. Chris K said flowers. But that's what I was going for with this. It was kind of like a patchwork quilt design. Or that was my thought process for that one. And he was in town for like a weekend or so, and I was really trying to get it made before he had to go back. And this side looks a little wonky, but it actually was laying flat. I just threw it on the floor at my parents' house and took a picture right quick of it. Let's see what else I have that are scrappy projects. Okay, so here's the moss stitch blanket. That was a scrappy project. That's the one I showed y'all at the beginning. That's it in its works. This piece blanket, you could use it as a stash buster. I just used black. And this yarn I love, and I need to find out what it was called because I ordered it. It's a Red Heart Super Saver, but to me it looked like puzzle pieces when worked in C2C. So I thought it looked like a big old giant puzzle. Lori says, I love how Yarn Joy Terry used scrap balls using her Happily Stained. Me too, and I think I may have to do one of those. Because I'm thinking with the blanket that I had made that was all the granny stripes. Oh, I can grab that and show y'all that blanket. Let's see here. These are the granny squares I was making. Or I was going to make a blanket. That one looks really dark, but it's actually navy. And it's navy blue and green. You just can't see it. So I used the same colors in all of those. Okay, let's stop sharing for a second here. And let me grab this other photo. I have another scrappy project. I'll come back to that. What did I do with that one? Where did my picture go? Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. This one. There we go. Susan, can I show the moss stitch blanket again? Absolutely, I sure will. me show y'all. So this is the, and I would have brought this one in here, but like I said, it's very, very long, and it's laying on the, it's laying to where I would have had to move stuff to get to it, so I just took a picture. But it's doing the granny stitch, but it's stripes. And so I may use this and do the happily stained. And then when I get to like the sections that are black, I may just have to cut those out and then use that for something else. But yeah, so there's that one. Welcome in, Miss Jen Reeves. Hello, hello. I was lurking watching y'all a little bit last night. Was it last night? Or was it Tuesday night? Whatever night y'all come on. I'm looking over here, and I should be looking over here. I'm looking at the chat over here because I'm sharing screen over here. So. Okay, let's see here. Close that. Okay, so here is the work in progress. This is the one that I was going to bring in here, but I'm pretty sure it's in a tote in the other room. But this is another Scrappy project that I've been doing. When I made the one for my brother, I decided I was going to make one for myself, but I'm using all different size Scrappy balls. So like you see here, this little yellow, it's only 4 little C2C squares because that's all I had. I just had a little teeny tiny ball of that. And then I had just a little bit of this, and there's that yarn that I used to make the other blanket, the peace blanket. So it's just got a little bit of this and a little bit of that in it. Jen says Tuesday. I can never remember. But I did. I was there. I was watching. For a little bit. And then this blanket here was another one. And this is another one that I took several different patterns and melded them all together. As you see, the part right here, this section right here that looks like it's going together. To me, I call it like the Easter egg section because it kind of looks like the shape of an Easter egg. That is from Sophie's Universe. The center was a crochet crowd tutorial. So, but I did do a video on this particular one, and I told you what each round, where it came from, or if I made it up. Like right now, this part, it says the basket weave, that I just added because I knew how to do that. So, but y'all can make all kinds of really cool projects just using scrap yarn or stash buster stuff. Close that. There's Mr. Tinykins. I don't know where he's at right now. I spoke his name, so he will probably come running. And I think that's all. There's my happily stained. Alrighty. I think that's about all I got for scrappy projects, I think. Oh no, you can make little butterflies using scrap yarn, and then I put a magnet on the back of this little guy so he can hang on the refrigerator. So, alrighty. On the back of the refrigerator? Hang on the refrigerator. Alrighty, let's stop sharing that. Come back over here. Susan says, I want you to do the Sophie's Universe. It's on my list. I want to do it again. I really do. Let's go back to it here. Because I made that one for my granddaughter, and I want to make another one. It's actually, let me show you. Like here. It's the very top thing, Sophie's Universe. I want to do another one, and I want to buy the book. You can get the book off of Amazon, which you can print it out because, I mean, it's a free pattern. Or you can also buy a paid version. It just doesn't have all the ads in it. If you print it off, you know, you've got all the ads. But anyway, and there's also a free tutorial on YouTube, so you don't have to pay for it at all. It's totally free. But I was thinking about buying the pattern just so that I would always have it. And I didn't want to have to take the time to print it all out. So, Jen says, I just brought my happily stained blanket back home. I was storing it at my son's house. I liked yours. I thought it was pretty. But I want to make another one too. Jen says she has the book. I want to get it, and So Jen, did you have yours bound, or did you turn it into a spiral, or did you just leave it as the book? Because I thought about that, and then I thought, without, because some people said they were taking it to their office supply store and they were cutting the binding off the side and then making it into a spiral, which I would like because it would lay flatter. But I don't want to take them and do that when, sometimes in books, the writing is really up close to the edge. And so if you cut the binding off and then spiral it, I don't want it to cut out any of the pattern that might be important. Jen said she left it, but she wants it a spiral. See, I like it because then you can open it up and lay it flat, or I can fold it over and keep it on the page that I'm on. Y'all know how spirals work, which is partly why I thought about printing it myself, because I've been wanting to get a binding machine, like one of those plastic spirally binding machines, but yeah. But anyway, so I wanted to see if anybody had bought the book and then turned it into a spiral, if you lost any of the words, or if you lost any of the pattern, or if it has a wide enough margin to where you were able to do it easily. And I guess if I buy the book, I can look at it and be able to tell, but yeah. All right, so those that are wanting to follow along with me on this here, I've done the textured section, and then we'll just need to do a round of half double. Then we'll jump into the sedge stitch. So like I said, if I have time this weekend, I may whip up a tutorial for this, or at least go step by step and tell you how many rounds of each I did, because I also wanted to show y'all some of those other projects. So here's what I've got on my list. Sophie's Universe. Susan says they don't have the book in spiral that you can buy. Yeah, they have the book, but it on Amazon, but it's not spiraled. But somebody bought the book and took it to their office supply store and had them cut the binding off and turn it into a spiral. Jen says, I don't remember who'd spiral bound theirs. It might have been, it seems like it was somebody on Butterfly Dreams Jeannie on her channel. Seems like when they were all making it, seems like one of them, somebody in that chat, had their spiral bound. But I don't remember who it is. But she's got all of the pattern is written on her website. What is it, All in a Nutshell? Or is that the YouTube tutorial? Deidre. Jeannie said it doesn't cost much, they said, and she was thinking Jeannie too. I'm kind of thinking that, yeah. But you can print the pattern. I could print the pattern, but if I did it and printed it at home on paper, on copy paper, it would be like this thick when I was done with it. So I thought, if I'm going to spend that time doing that, it would be more cost effective to just buy the book off of Amazon. And it's pretty. It's got it's just a pretty book. So I wish they would come out with it in a spiral bound version. But, they are probably like us, and it costs money to do things other ways. So Jen said it's like 250 pages, is it? It's a lot. It's a lot because, yeah. I mean, I guess I could shrink it down, but then if I had to shrink it down, plus, doesn't the book have photographs and stuff too, Jen? Good night, Charity. Darcy says, hi, Jen. I'm back. I had to get some tea. You didn't get her no sleepy time tea, did you? Oh, for those that, if y'all missed it earlier, Crafty Ladies are back this weekend. saying the sleepy time tea made me think of Miss Cynthia, and Cynthia is going to be our guest on the Crafty Ladies this weekend. We go live this Saturday night at 6 o'clock. It's going to be right here on my channel. So if y'all want to come join me and Cynthia and Miss Nancy, we're going to be doing some winter themed crafts. We're making bookmarks, and we're also going to be making a canvas painting of a snowflake, which sounds harder than it is. Hopefully it turns out great. I haven't actually done it. I've just saw an inspiration over on Pinterest, and we're just going to give it a whirl and see if it works. But you'll just need a canvas, some washi tape or painter's tape, and whatever color of paint you want to use for your background. Jen says, yeah, I think so. I haven't looked at it in a long time. It's on my list. It's on my wish list on Amazon, so I think I'm just going to have to break down and just go ahead and buy it. But I think that would be a really cool stash buster, either a stash buster or a Scrappy project, because, you know, you can use, okay, so like I could use this sparkly green in it because there are lots of leaves. There are lots of rounds that say these are leaves. So I could use this. I don't have to have a whole skein, and I don't have to have all of it be green. So, and it will turn out just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to head out of here. If anybody would like to share your channel before we go, just type in Be Thankful. Try Be Thankful, B-E-E Thankful. I don't remember if I changed the word. I kind of don't think I did. But somebody type it in and see if on Nightbot would share your link. And if that's not right, I'll go look and see what I changed the word to. But I'm pretty sure it's Be Thankful. Oh, wait, let's see. I should have it on a banner. Yes. Be Thankful. And if you type that in, Mr. Nightbot should drop your channel link. Miss Jen has typed it. There we go. Mr. Nightbot is working. So friends can go check out your channel. Whoop. Y'all, my yarn is sticking to me. It's so staticky. But yeah, I will be back this Saturday night with Miss Nancy and Miss Cynthia from Cynthia's Joyful Creations. We'll be right back here crafting away, so that should be loads of fun. So yeah. Okay, so back to my list. I've got Sophie's Universe listed on here. Cowl using the bougie yarn, which I think I'm going to make it like a little bit. Jen says, what time? So, 6 Central. Hey, Jeannie, welcome in. So, it's 6 Central right here on my channel, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Chris K, did I share the hat with you? Oh, you did. Let me share that. Y'all, Chris made a hat. She made this hat and sent me a photo. So, let me go grab that right quick and share that with y'all. She did. Where's it at? Here it is. And she used a variegated yarn. Let's see, Lori said she's been doing scrap busting stash down projects for the last 2 years. I'll have another blanket ready soon. Will be a fall colored throw for the couch. Ooh, nice. Nice. Let me share screen. Wrong button. Every time I click the wrong buttons. Share screen. There we go. So she used this pretty variegated yarn. And there you can see the texture and the top of the crown. That turned out really nice, Chris. Oh, I can zoom. No, I can't. Can I? Oh, yes, I can. There we go. So you can see the textured top. And then down here is the sedge stitch. Go back. You can see the sedge. That turned out nice. I like it. Let me see here. Yep. I was saying I thought I had another picture, but Chris says wrong yarn choice. Well, I mean, it's hard. Variegated yarn is hard to get a real, if it's a text, like if it's hard to see the pattern like in a photo, but like a lot of times you can see it like live and in person, like this one here. Like it kind of loses it loses the texture and the stitch definition in the picture, but in person it's really there. You can see it live and in person. This is my snow day beanie. Lori says, I think on Saturday I will make crocheted snowflakes with thread using a pattern book my son got me for Christmas. Oh, that'll be fun. Be pretty. Let's see. What was it doing? Banner. I was going to take that banner off. That's what it was doing. Okay. You know, it didn't take much to get myself all like squirreling. But grab this one. Here's another thing you can do. We were talking about granny squares. Make your granny squares, and then you can do a border around them. You can make hot pads. You can use them to make washcloths. These are good for scrappy projects. Jinta, that's a nice beanie. Oh, thank you. Yep, I have a tutorial for the snow day beanie. And then this beanie we made last week. Oh, and here it is in the variegated. This is what we started out using. So you can really see the texture in the top. But yeah, so same as with Chris's, you know, you really can't tell that there's texture here from back here. It just loses it because it's all like variegated-y. But up close, you can still see that the texture is there. Ta-da! So this is the same as this one. This is what we made last week on the live. Or we started it on the live and then I finished it. Jen says puff stitches would pop out on that. Yeah, they would. But see, yeah, like the variegation, you just really lose stitch definition, but I wanted to try this yarn out and see. So for this one, this yarn was the, what was it called? Candy Shop. Jolly Rancher. These are both 4 weights, but this one turned out a little bit smaller. So this is a little bit thinner. So for the sedge stitch section on it, I did 11 rounds. And the one that I just threw on the floor, yeah. Jen says if it does the job, that's all that matters. Exactly. And then for this one here, I did 10 rounds. From when we got started on it last week, I just did 10 rounds and then finished it off with half double. And it covers my ears. I'm one of those that likes my beanies to cover up my ears. I know some people like it to hit above. I want it to go below my ears, or at least past the opening of my ear, because I'm like, I want it to, especially if it's a winter beanie. Now, if I'm doing like a newsboy hat or something, then I stop it up here so it looks like a baseball cap. But if I'm wanting a beanie, I want it to cover my ears because I want it to keep my ears warm. So, yeah. All right, well, if everybody dropped your channel link that wanted to drop your link, I'm going to head out of here. But I thank y'all so very much for coming and hanging out with me, and I hope to see y'all back here on Saturday night for the Crafty Ladies. I do have that scheduled already, so if y'all want to go check it out, if you're wanting to craft along with us, I have a list of all of the supplies in the description box. Some of them are suggestions. You will not need all of them. Like for the bookmark, I listed everything I could possibly think of. Oh, you could also use that, like those felt sheets, those sturdy felted sheets. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Not like the floppy felt, but like the foam felt, I think. That would also make a good base for your bookmark. So I just listed all kinds of stuff like that. So you wouldn't need everything. But if y'all want to craft along with us, it's just some suggestions and ideas of what y'all can do. Jen said, oh, you can make a newsboy hat with ear flaps. Oh, yeah. I've done those before, too, like where it comes down. I made one for my son's best friend in high school. He wanted me to make him a hat. And I made it in red and black. Not red and black. Red and blue. He wanted it in red and blue. And that was when I first learned that I crochet super tight because I followed the pattern, but I did not look at the gauge. I did not do a gauge swatch. I just was like, oh, it said use whatever hook size. I'm good to go. Let's roll with it. No problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Okay. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this picture right quick. And I just saw it. That's how I know that it was there. So this is the hat I made for a high school, I believe he was a senior. And that's my niece. It barely fit her, but look, it's got the little ear flaps. But as I was making it, I'm like, this doesn't look like it's going to fit him. I don't think that's going to fit him. And I thought, well, maybe I'm just going to roll. That's what the pattern said to do. So I was like, what on earth? That's when I realized when I'm following a pattern, I crochet really, really tight. So I remade the beanie for him and went up 2 hook sizes. And from then on out, every time I would make a pattern, if I went up 2 hook sizes, it was pretty well spot on with the designer. I have found, though, that with the Odysseys, and I've told y'all this before, and I don't know that if it's the weight of the hook or if it's because it's so ergonomical and I can hold it, like, it doesn't, like, cramp up my hand. I don't know. But for whatever, or if I have a looser tension with it, but for whatever reason, with the Odysseys, I crochet more along with this industry standard of most patterns. So I don't have to go up a hook size when doing those. But yeah, if I use any of my other hooks, whether it be my boy hook or my Hobby Lobby hook, I have to go up 2 hook sizes in order for it to match most patterns. So like if I'm following along with a beanie and they say use the I hook, I use my K hook. Every time. But yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, I crochet tight, apparently. But like this one was with a J, and I could have done it with an I because it's got plenty of give. I easily could have done this hat and with an I because this final round was 72, so I could have absolutely done it with an I and been fine for this particular one. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a fabulous, fabulous night. Remember, be creative. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.